So it was a nice smooth drive. The usual. Took exactly 2 hours. I got moved around a lot right away. Yeah, it's the old man that I talk about later. 5, 6 of clubs. The old man with the smirk. Early stack. That
It's the championship main event, whatever they want to call it. It's 1 hour levels. This is the first break. After two levels, have a little, about a little bit over 50K. We started with 40K, but I doubled up and then gave it back pretty much a few hands later. But I'm playing the game I want to play. Trying to chip up. Uh, so I'd called a raise with 5, 6 of clubs. It was three bet from the button, and he got in, so I got in. I think Blind's levels for 200, 300. He had made it 8 when I called, and then the guy made it 3,000 at the button. We both called. So flop comes out deuce 6, 6. So the two of us check, and the initial aggressor raised. They raised 5,000. So when the first guy folded, I re-raised him. I made a 15K, and he just shoved on me. I'm like, okay, I call. So he turns over pocket fives, and he's drawing dead. I had 5, 6 of clubs, deuce 6, 6 flop, so it was nice. Then the other hand where I doubled the other guy up, there was a raise, and I called pocket sevens. So the initial raiser, 4 bets. He didn't have a lot, and it's too good a hand to fold. He'd made it like 10K. It was 800. He made it 800, 23, 23. Then he made it 10. The other guy folded. I'll see a flop. I don't know what he has. Maybe ace king. I'm hoping he doesn't have a bigger pair. Board was 2, 5, 10. And he went all in for another 18,000 and change. Figured I'm only beating a bluff, ace king. I tell him I could beat a bluff, but he turned over nines, and it held up for him. Let's go. So second break, just a rough couple of levels, levels 3 and 4. Tough. I barely played any hands. Pushed the action, played 10 queen, and ended up winning a decent pot. It was a 9 jack queen flop. Then under the gun, I raised with ace queen. I got 3 bet. I called, and flop was ace king blank, like a 6 or a 7. So I checked it. It just checked back to me. I'm hoping my ace queen is it looked like a good flop. Turn was a jack, so I let out half a pot, and he collected back. Just min raising me for the 3 bet. So I'm thinking maybe he has ace jack, but I ended up paying him again on the river. He had ace king and flop top 2 pair, so I'm back pretty much to a starting stack. Hopefully I'll start getting some hands soon.
I ate a little bit of humble pie at the Borgata event I played. Mostly because I was just expecting to make it to day 2, but it was one of those days where I literally didn't get any cards. I know that's like an excuse, but with the blind level 1 hour, I could have just folded for. I made it to just almost to dinner break. About 5.5 hours in, I was level 6. So the best hand I had, base pocket pairs, pocket sevens, it ran into nines. Pocket sixes ran into eights. Other than that, I had ace queen once, which ran into ace king and an ace high flop, and king queen twice. It was good, but I'm happy with the way I played. I played aggressive. I guess I could have been super super patient, but so I arrived relatively early. There was like maybe 4 or 5 tables. and every time new people register, they open up a new table. They pick up, you know, one player from each table. That's going to be the next big blind. So I ended up getting moved like 4 or 5 times in a row. It was, 20 minutes apart. So I can get comfortable, like in knowing the players every table I went to. So on the last one that I went to, where I ended up staying, I think it must have been like my fourth move. I There was a raise and I had 5 6 of clubs, so I called a raise, but it gets 3 bet, relatively big by the button. So it comes around, initial raiser, the blinds fold, the initial raiser calls out. I decide 5 6 of clubs. I usually regret not calling with my small medium pairs or sort of connected cards. A lot of times I look at the flop and I regret not calling, even though technically it's like I'm up against it. So it turned out I call and go to a flop. The flop comes out deuce 6 6. So I flop trips. So we both the two of us checked, and the button he made a raise. I think he bet like 5,000, and the other guy folded. So I re-raise him to I make it 15,000, and he looks at me and he goes, "I'm all in." So of course I snap called him. He was drawn dead. He had pocket fives. So I don't know what he was thinking. Maybe he thought I was had the deuce, or that maybe if I had a six I wouldn't have re-raised him. I would just milk him more. But he was drawn dead because I had 6 5, and it held up. Then after that, I think I made one. I don't know if it's a mistake, but every time I had a hand, it was literally under the gun. All the king queens and ace queen were under the gun. So I had ace three of diamonds, and I didn't raise. I just lumped in. It was like lumped in 5 ways, and the flop came out 4 5 queen, all black cards. I think there were 2 clubs, and it was raised by a late position player after it was checked, and one of the blinds called, and I went away because part of the reason was if I had not been there at the table longer, then I probably would have called, because the guy who raised was a bit of a wild man, but he was an old man. He was like 70 plus. So without knowing more, usually I associate those guys with being super knit. But that wasn't the case. I mean, it's still the right fold in a way, but it turned out the turn was a deuce of spades, so there was no flush, and I would have had not the nut straight, but the second straight. So, but that was literally the highlight. It was within the first couple of hours, and I never went any higher than that. I won one other hand with king queen, and even then, flop was king 10 3, and there were a couple of spades. And I had king or queen of diamonds, I believe, or offsuit, but I didn't have a spade. So when I hit that flop, it was like 4 or 5 players in. I raised it, a little bit more than a third of the pot, and the same guy that had raised, previous, the all dude, he made it like 9,000, which was like twice the whatever the pot size was, and I think at that point the pot size might have been like 4 or 5K, even with my raise. I think it's the second level. It might have been 200, 300 blinds. So I had made it maybe 7 or 8, 4 or 5 players in. I raised it, so we made it 9,000, which is like a lot more than I raised. So I'm not sure what he has, but we're playing deep, and I had, doubled up to about 78K earlier, much earlier when I hit the 5 6 of clubs. So everybody falls, and I decide to just call. And the turn was a queen, so I hit a second pair, hoping he fires again, maybe as a set. And the flush just hit, but he just checks it back. I think he was just raising just to get me to fold. I don't know. And then the river was, a queen. So I boarded up. Not that it mattered. I let out a bet, about half the pot, and and he went away, and that was the last hand I won. And yeah, Ace King, Ace Queen ran into Ace King. I started playing, in position, even if there was raised. I started seeing flops with hands like Queen 10, not suited, which is, a reasonable hand in a way. But, I mean, those cards look like aces when you are not getting cards at all. So my day ended, like I said, I had pocket sixes, ran into eights. Flop was 4 5 8. It was set eight of clubs, seven of clubs, four diamonds. I had the six of clubs, and I'm blocking. I have a club. I'm blocking the straight flush draws. A five. I'm thinking a five or a six. I should win, but the old man again. He made a ridiculously large bet. I think he bet 25,000. I had about 37 or so. It's still close to a starting stack. So I mean, I played aggressive, and no regrets. I try to get built up a chip. I'm trying to win the whole thing. I'm not trying to just fold my way to main cash. So I go all in over the top. Everybody else folded. He had flopped top set. So he had pocket eights, no clubs. I had backdoor outs. Turn was a 10, which gave me, another, a 9 gives me a straight, or a 5 gives me a straight. And the river was a blank, and I was out. And old man was like, oh, I didn't even want to call pre-flop. So it's just one of those days where it just it wasn't happening. It wasn't going to happen for a few hours. So it was fun. I was still net positive for the Borgata Poker Open. Next set of games I'm going to play are going to be mid to late August at Harris when the circuit, WSOP circuit shows up.